There's no screenwriting constitution. Billy Wilder and Patty Chayefsky never convened a conference of acclaimed screenwriters to determine whether scene headers should be underlined. Nora Ephron never proposed an amendment regarding dual dialogue. Just as there's no master document laying out the rules, there's no screenwriting Supreme Court to decide whether a writer's use of "same" as the time marker in scene headers is appropriate. Instead of laws and judges, all we have in screenwriting are conventions. Most screenplays do most of the same things in most of the same ways, and that's helpful. If every screenplay came up with its own layout for action and dialogue, it would be chaos. So we've collectively, passively agreed on a set of norms and standards. For example, nearly all scripts in English are delivered in 12-point Courier font, not because it's the best font, but because everyone's used to it. It's the same with the standard margins for dialogue and other elements. There's no platonic ideal screenplay format, there's just what people expect. In the majority of cases, you're best off going with the flow. The prohibitions on what screenwriters can or can't do on the page ultimately comes down to taste. For example, some readers despise the terms "we hear" and "we see." We think that's dumb. Modern screenplays are an attempt to capture the experience of watching a movie or show, and "we" is a very useful way of putting the reader in the seat of an audience member. In some cases, it's nearly essential, such as when you need to make it clear that the audience has information the characters don't. Candace rifles through the clothes in her closet, trying to decide on an outfit. In the mirror, we see a dark figure standing at the door, watching her. Ominous. And then it's gone. You could absolutely write this without "we see," but it would be clunkier. We wish we could find the patient zero of "don't use we see" in scene descriptions. We don't know who started this terrible virus, but it's wrong, and it has spread throughout all these mediocre schools. Waves of human beings keep arriving on Reddit to explain to other people why you can't use "we see," and the two of us have just been trying to rescue people from this nonsense. Can you overuse "we see"? Absolutely. Same with asterisks, adjectives, and exclamation points. But that's no reason to ban them. So how did we get to this over-reliance on screenwriting rules, and why do they persist? In addition to helping calm the nerves of nervous screenwriters, screenwriting rules often serve as a filtering mechanism. Over their careers, producers, agents, executives, and paid analysts read thousands of screenplays. Most of these screenplays are bad, because most screenplays are bad. Reading these bad screenplays, they inevitably notice certain things that bother them, so they associate these characteristics with bad screenplays. They extrapolate and say, "Stop doing this thing. Here's a rule, because I read all sorts of scripts that do this too much, and those scripts are bad. So this thing is always bad." They're identifying a pattern. Here's the problem. There's something called the triangular non-relationship in logic, where something is correlated with something else, but one is not causing the other. They are both caused by the same thing. In this case, a bad screenplay correlating with rule-breaking doesn't mean that rule-breaking causes bad screenwriting. It means that oftentimes bad writers will tend to do certain things. They'll write very long scenes. They'll use a lot of bold and underline. They'll put a lot of extraneous detail into parentheticals. But good writers also break these rules, as do most professional screenplays, including Oscar-winning hits. When you point this out, pedants will wave it aside, saying only produced writers or directors can get away with violating these imaginary screenwriting precepts. The truth is much simpler. If a screenplay is good and it articulates a blueprint for a potentially great movie, no one cares how much it adheres to standards.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.